red beans and rice dish. Classic New Orleans dish. I do things just a little slightly different. I like to brown my meat, the meats that I'm using, my smoked ham hocks and my sausage. I do it separately, and then once they're brown the way I want them to be, they go into the red bean pot with the stock. I use, instead of using water, I use a bone broth, bone stock. It gives a better, richer flavor for me. And with the vegetables, I brown them instead of putting them in raw directly into the liquid. A little bit different. If you read the directions and ingredients below, you'll see what I did. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward, not complicated, and I think you'll enjoy the results. Red beans and rice with smoked ham hocks, one of the easiest dishes to make. Also an easy dish to mess up if you oversalt it, but we're not going to do that. No salt at all. We're going to go with the ham hocks, plenty of salt in there. People always ask me what kind of red beans you want to use, and I'm like, use whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. I use camellia. Standard dish, beans, you can get them anywhere in Texas, Louisiana, doesn't matter. So take these, 1 pound, 2 pounds, soak them 12 to 24 hours, sometimes longer, 48 hours, whatever you like on the beans. These have been going for a couple of days. I've washed them out this morning, all good. I have a little bit of water in there, not much, but what I generally do, just to let you know, as far as the liquid component, you can use beef stock, bone stock. I use a bone-in broth. You can use any kind you want, doesn't matter. This is just personally me, just one of me things, me thing. So, the big thing, where you get all your flavor from. All right, Eunice Louisiana, Lejuenes smoked sausage. Can't get it any place but Eunice, Louisiana. So, you've got to go get it. Or they'll ship it to you if you're nice. And there's 2 types of smoked ham hocks you can get. You can get the bone-in, you buy the bone-in everywhere. And then you have the ones that are deboned. I've never seen deboned ones until I was here. H-E-B here in Houston has them. Perfect. Takes up a lot less volume and you get a better product, I promise you. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take both of these, we're gonna chop them up, we're gonna put them in the oven in a black iron skillet. This big one here, oh, this is as big as you can get. Go to Academy, get it. It's 50 bucks. I promise you, you'll be happy forever. But what we're gonna do is brown them. We will brown them at 425 for about 30 minutes. And just to show you how these look, they've already been deboned. The benefit of these is they'll brown very nicely all around. Very, very nicely. You don't have to add any oil or anything to these. Just gonna drop them in. And what you'll do is stir these. You're gonna stir these in here every few minutes, like every 10 minutes, just to get a new piece showing up to the oven, to the broiler. And you probably will not use all of this meat. What I would do is just, after you've browned it, saved it, use it for later for like grits or something else. Really fun. You think it's a lot, but it really is not as much as you might think. And just to kind of give you a cost perspective, this bag right here of smoked ham hocks is about 8 bucks. The producers are, it's a Jamestown brand. I can't find them anyplace else, so you're just gonna go with these if available. They don't always have them, but sometimes they do, which is nice. Don't want that anymore. And which ones are these? This is the mixed pork sausage. Since I'm gonna use the rest. Thanks Bob Kramer for this one. Chop them up big. These are normal lengths, and you want to make them big when you cut them, because they do shrink up a little bit. They do. 1.5 inches, 2 inches, totally fine. These smell so good. And if you want more, just get more lengths, doesn't matter. But because this is usually what I do for 2 pounds, I've only got 1 pound on the stove. I'm not going to use as much, but I'll probably use more of the sausage and the smoked ham hocks this time, and just use the smoked ham hocks for a casserole dish. Much more fun that way. Mix them up, don't have to add any oil to them. Be fine just on its own. 425, or until you feel they are browned the way you want them browned. If you don't like them as brown, pull them out a little bit sooner. If you like them over browned, that's fine too. But remember, if you cook them too long at too high a temp, you could pull a lot of the oil out, and you really probably want to keep that. You don't want to lose a lot of it. So, the red beans. And because I did 1 pound, I did a smaller pot to cook it in versus one of my bigger ones. 1 pound red beans, these soak for 48 hours. strain them out, wash them out, and I put a little bit of water in here. So you're going to start to bring these up to a boil. And the thing you want to use, as I said earlier, not chicken, beef stock. You can use, this is bone-in broth, you can use beef stock, any type of beef product is what you want. And you really want like 3 of these in there, and these are, what are these, 38 ounces, I believe? 32, so we're gonna bring this up to a boil, so high. Good color, good context, that's what you wanna see. Very nice. We're gonna bring this to a nice boil for a while. Reduce that down. That gives us about 30 minutes before we put in the meat. And there are 2 ways you can do your veggies. You can toss them in right now if you want to, raw, or you can brown them a bit. And what I've done over the years is I've moved from just tossing them in to, after doing the meats, remove the meats, put the meats in, and then brown them in the pot with the oils that are still there. Stirring is important. I'll probably add a little bit of butter in this just because I get a little bit more grease. It's on a nice high heat. I want to get these browned very rapidly and put them into the beans. I don't want to add salt to the red beans until the absolute, when it's done.
What about hot sauce?
Yes, sir.
Crystal?
You could add Crystal.
Louisiana Chef?
Whatever you prefer.
All at the end, which of course will add salt.
Well,
you don't want to add it before it's done. I mean,
what I would do,
you don't cook with it.
What I would do, and I'm gonna show you. You have options.
I don't cook with it.
You don't cook. You never cook. 2 types. Tabasco, yummy, yummy, yummy. I like them both. Different reasons. The veggies are not where I want them yet. It's on a high heat. It's almost there. But I tell you what I'm going to do for the red beans now is go ahead and put the meat in.
You need a hand with anything, sir?
No, sir. I'm very, very good at it.
Lost something.
I saw that. I did. That's all right. I'm going to get it out. Mr. Christian will get it out. These are now brown the way I want them. That is the right color, guys. That's what we want. I've collected a lot of that debris, a lot of the juices left behind. Right on in.
So how do you explain yourself with adding these vegetables when Popeyes, the best red beans and rice in the world, does not?
Silly
have
human.
this?
We're going to put it on simmer. I've got it on 5. I'm bringing it back to a boil real quick. And once that, I'm going to drop it down to 3, cover it. 4 hours later, stirring occasionally. It's done. It's ready to go. Whole color will change. It looks kind of green on the top right now, which I get. Don't worry about it. That's okay. That will disappear nicely. It'll all be a nice brown red beans with smoked ham hocks. And 4 hours from now, all good. It's almost been 4 hours. Pretty close to 4 hours. So these are done. Everything has reduced nicely. And they're ready to serve and eat. You just put it over rice if you want, whatever you feel best with, as I said earlier. And there we are. A yummy dish as always.